You heard it here first. Bitcoin is going to zero. Zero.
It's not exactly clear how the NFL even knew this was going on, but the NFL called, and then one of the dispatchers says, I'm going to call the Cowboys. So it seems like the team and the league were involved in real time. Now, to what degree, that's not known. But yeah, I had never heard anything like that before, Lauren. Using a drone that has some sort of heat-seeking technology where they could find the warmth of a body, they located Nealon deceased in a portable toilet.
Short sellers, Michael Burry putting the short on this weekend. Some people were wondering if
by the way, what I was defensive about, not defensive, I would say offensive about, I don't like short sellers. And everyone's like, oh, it's price discovery, great. At Palantir, we focus on delivery. It's like we're on our own factory floor. What I'm doing and what we at Palantir are doing almost every day, and without really doing that much. We used to have this saying at Palantir, which I probably shouldn't say. It's like we're quiet in the streets, hot in the sheets. And that's kind of, it's like we're doing our thing.
You lower your end of year Bitcoin price target to $120,000 from $185,000. Now that's a big difference. This week, crypto, of course, experienced a sell-off, and we saw Bitcoin fall under $100,000 for the first time in 4 months. How much did that weigh on your revised price target for Bitcoin, and what other factors were in the mix?
So this week's price action wasn't very impactful for I would say the leverage wipeout from a couple of weeks ago on October 10th is what had us really starting to reconsider the odds that those year-end targets that we made, by the way, last December. That 185K was a price target we put out December 31st, 2024. That wipeout that happened in October 10th, I think really did materially damage the liquidity profile in the near term. And it took me a little while to actually get the note out, but I think it makes a lot of sense now. I mean, with Bitcoin, got down to like 99.8 the other day or so, or not even high 98s. Like it just materially, an 85% increase seems off the table over the next 6 weeks, right? So while it is a materially large, reduction in our target, that's a target that's from now till the end of the year, right? It's not. And when we made that target, again, this was following the president's election in November of last year, and there was sort of that unbounded optimism of everything likely to happen, but we don't quite know. And, Bitcoin was the largest longing Bitcoin between President Trump's election and his inauguration was basically the hottest trade in the world at the time. No longer the case at the moment. I wouldn't say it's the top trade in the world.
Crypto markets are rebounding to close out what has been a choppy week of trade that saw Bitcoin slip below that key $100,000 threshold midweek as macro uncertainty weighed on risk assets. Now, on the institutional side, ETF trading volume has been light. Net inflows into spot Bitcoin funds are net negative for the week. Still, some investors stepped in to buy the dip. Those corporate treasury stocks are rising today. ETHZilla, backed by Peter Thiel, Tom Lee's BitMine Immersion, and SharpLink Gaming, they are all Ether proxy trades, and they are breaking higher after a down week, as is Strategy, still the largest corporate holder of Bitcoin. Now, longer term, some are rethinking Bitcoin's role in the financial system. ARK's Kathy Wood told CNBC that stablecoins are starting to eat into the use case that she once expected Bitcoin to dominate, especially in emerging markets.
5 billion. Okay, so that's 15 times. You're starting at 15 times, as if you can make a forecast like that with any degree of certainty or accuracy. And then your resolution on the whole idea is so fine because of what you're calculating, you can cut 300,000 off, and then it's only going up 12 times. The whole thing just seems silly. I don't know why we really ran it there. But we are at 100,000. Do you think it goes below significantly, or this is a nut? We've seen this movie before.
Yeah, look, I think that there's a reckoning that's happening across both crypto and Wall Street, which is the Wall Street folks are realizing that Bitcoin is real and it's going to be here to stay. At the same time, the crypto people are realizing that Wall Street plays a very different game. Wall Street actually does not want an asset that goes up, 100x and then drops 80% every 3 to 4 years. They want something that is much more predictable, much more stable. And so
why'd they get so involved with it? Because
Bitcoin is not as risky today as it used to be, right? If you were buying Bitcoin in 2012 or 2025,
it was at 125 about a month ago.
Of course, but if you think about the risk you take, you should get paid for it. And so right now, Bitcoin is much less risky today than it was a decade ago. And so people are going to get a lower return. Now, what I think is really interesting is also that lower volatility in Bitcoin is allowing these large pools of capital to come in and start playing. And so in a weird way, the volatility coming down is opening up the total addressable market of Bitcoin. And what we have seen is less volatility to the upside, but that likely also means less volatility to the downside. Usually in bull markets, you see 4, 5, 6 different 30+% drawdowns. We haven't seen that during this bull market. And so you're just getting dampening of volatility over time, which frankly is boring to a lot of the early investors. And I think that's why you see a lot of those guys starting to see kind of her point.
So Bitcoin's never going to be anything other than in digital gold?
For years, I think I've been coming on here and saying, hey, we know for sure that people want to use it as a store of value. Maybe one day it'll become a medium of exchange. The question of always like, are you going to buy your coffee with it? The hard part about using Bitcoin for transactions in that manner is if you think Bitcoin is going to appreciate, you don't want to spend an asset that is likely to appreciate in the future.
Guys that bought the pizza that now
correct. And so instead, what do? You spend something that you think is going to depreciate over time, which is the US dollar. And so the rise of stablecoins, I think, is really just taking the exact same asset, it's the US dollar with the same monetary policy, you're putting it on new rails. And what we're finding is that the demand for dollars was way higher than we ever thought before. And I think that's a good thing for the United States and for the US dollar.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And I come back with that video just to make you think. And make sure you join the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. Also, go like and follow the TikTok. More videos to come. I just want to touch on a topic real quickly. Has nothing to do with crypto or the market. We're going to get into that later once I touch on this topic. Now, we had two gentlemen this year reportedly took their own life. And both was at the top of their game. And both ended the same way. First, we had Kyron Lacey, someone who most likely was going to the NFL. And then we had the Dallas Cowboys, Marshawn Yellen, yesterday. And both of these situations hit me. Kyron hit me too. I didn't say anything about it in the videos. But of course, guys, I'm an old man. And your relationship with the Most High is very important. And both of these situations don't make a lot of sense to me, but I'll touch on that in the Patreon. But again, your relationship with the Most High will clear your vision, so therefore you can see the world clearly. And then also, if you are going through a situation when something is weighing on you heavy, that relationship will help you get through it. But again, these two situations don't make any sense whatsoever. Both had high-speed car chases with the police. I can't find a video on either one of them. Guys, we know cameras are everywhere now due to the technology. And for Yellen, they said they used heated drone technology to find him. And when I look for Yellen's car, the only thing I see is the tracks. And neither one of these situations are adding up. And I know people get stressed out, bad mental states, but something just simply does not sit well with me. I'm going to leave it at that for the Patreon video. But I had to say that because anybody who likes to investigate, please investigate and send me that information. Because like I stated, it's just not adding up. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now, getting over into the video, we have Palantir CEO has jokes. And I don't see how she could complete that actual interview because I couldn't stop laughing. I don't see how she completed the interview. She just did a little giggle and kept it moving. She definitely should get a reward on that one. But guys, we see the short sellers and we have Michael Berry. And AI is definitely going to be pulling back right along with the regular stocks, cryptos, because guess what, guys? It's time to build. And don't forget, you can make money whether the market is going up or down. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. Now we have Galaxy lowering the forecast to 120,000. And for some reason, we can't find any other hype boys. Remember, guys, we follow the Fed. We follow the numbers. We knew the markets were going to be pulling back. And Galaxy brings up October 10th, the deleveraging. And we still have a whole lot of leverage in crypto. And when it comes to the Magnificent Seven, There's a whole lot of air in that balloon, and it's definitely going to be coming out. And remember, the crypto teacher tells you. And we have Pomp on CNBC asked about Kathy Wood's prediction. And anytime Pomp is on CNBC, he's always talking about the bull market. He's always saying it's going to go higher. And now the mainstream media is turned against Bitcoin and AI. Now the question is Bitcoin going to zero? Guys, we went from Bitcoin is going to $250, $1 million. Now the question is, are we going to zero? You can't make this stuff up. And that's the reason why the sheep stay indecisive. That's where that scared money is coming in, because they have no clue of the fourth industrial revolution. So when we do pull back, they're going to be scared. They're going to run. They're not coming back until the robots, algorithms, and drones rise. And we know by then it's going to be too late. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. And we have Stephen Myron, of course, one of the helpers of Project 2025, says that these stable coins could hit trillions by the end of the decade. And we know that is definitely a fact. It's not could. It's definitely about to happen. But again, he knows all about the fourth industrial revolution. And Trump's job is to devalue this dollar so he can devalue this debt, turn all this debt over into equity, and then hand it out to the people. But little do the people know, that money is going to be programmable. Being able to tell you what, when, and how to buy, and you have 3 to 6 months to spend it or poof, it's gone. And while the people are sitting at home getting free money, and remember, they've already done all the simulations doing the C word, the machines are going to be taking over the economy. No more police, no more firemen, no more call center workers, car salesmen, nurses, doctors, lawyers, judges. You don't have to worry about building any more ships, any type of customer service, fast food. They have a machine online that I saw that can make 120 meals. And you're talking about fine dining. When you're looking at the economy and how it works, especially in the United States, we're in a service economy. It's nothing that these machines won't be able to do. Because the fact is, they have synthetic brains already. So if you take that synthetic brain and you attach it to these supercomputers, they'll be able to think just as fast as you. Because I always get someone talking about you can't replace truck drivers. They already have. But if you do need somebody sitting behind that wheel, it's going to be a robot. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Times it's not. I mean, earlier, a couple of weeks ago, NASDAQ was running and Bitcoin was going sideways, right? And so I think that what people are really trying to figure out is it correlated? Is it non-correlated? Is it inversely correlated? And part of it is that Bitcoin is still in this transition period. You know, my friend Jordy Visser's got this great way of framing it. He says Bitcoin is having its IPO moment. And the whole idea is that you have the early holders of Bitcoin who are dispersing that Bitcoin into the market. And there has been billions and billions of dollars of sales of Bitcoin coming from those early holders. Yet the Bitcoin price is still at $100,000. And so there is this persistent bid coming from the traditional financial system saying, we want to buy the Bitcoin and we're happy to take it out of the hands of those early holders. A person who's going to point out the kind of 0.001% chance of software
quantum computing,
or quantum computing, whatever. Right? But I think for most people, they see Bitcoin as not going away; it's here to stay, and I think that's why you see these large pools of capital starting to participate.
People that think it's going to zero never short it.
Listen,
I would short it if I thought it was going to zero.
The market is the referee. If people for some reason think it's going to zero,
that's a luxury belief. That's what I call it, because nothing can happen. You can believe it. Henry Blodgett still thinks it's going to zero. It's either going to 1 million or to zero. It's a luxury belief. You can have it and no one's ever going to call you out on it, but you're never going to short it because you don't ever put any money down.
I do think that there is a theme that is happening right now that people have not yet wrapped their head around, which is this whole idea of crypto is going to be dead in a decade, right? People are not going to be talking about crypto. We're just going to talk about finance. Everything is now merging together. You have the crypto world and you've got the traditional finance world.
Crypto will be just so intertwined with the financial world that we won't even use the term.
We used to think about the internet, like internet finance, and then there's the finance industry. Now it's just finance. Same thing is going to happen with crypto, right? You know, BlackRock as an example. BlackRock could be described as a crypto company. Their most profitable product is their Bitcoin product. They're talking about tokenization. all the time. Like, they are trying to adopt these new technologies. All of the big asset managers, they're trying to figure out, how do we play here? Do we actually have funds that invest in this space? Do we tokenize our funds? What do we do? And so over the next decade or so, crypto as a concept is going to be dead, and you're just going to hear people talk about finance. And I think that's a good thing. That's the maturation of the industry.
Comments from Stephen Myron, the new Fed governor, who is on a leave of absence from the administration, about stablecoins and the potential effect on monetary policy. He calls stablecoins could be the multi-trillion-dollar elephant in the room for central banks. Stablecoins, he says, could reach $1 to $3 trillion by the end of the decade, the uptake of it, that is. And stablecoins will reduce barriers to dollar use around the world, including, he says, giving access to dollars to the, quote, financially repressed around the world. Now, here's where we get to this issue. It's a range of different factors, he says, are already putting downward pressure on the neutral rate. You know that he's dissented several times for more rate cuts. But he says widespread use of stablecoins could reduce interest rates by as much as 40 basis points. He compares it to the global savings glut made famous by former Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke. The growth of stablecoins could increase the supply of loanable funds into the economy, putting that downward pressure on interest rate. The neutral rate, he says, if it's lower, the policy rate should be lower. Of course, Scott, the context is necessary. He's been arguing for this, for lower rates for a long time. This is another reason, but it's an interesting, compelling reason about the broader impact of stablecoins on the uptake of dollars around.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box, provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets. Now,
it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy. And you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a Treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know, I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.